We are back with another episode of On Air with Rare. But before we get into this, y'all already know, subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram at Rare Footage Sports. And make sure you follow us on X to keep up with the number one source for sports at Rare Footage News. Today we got a special guest. She played at the University of Virginia, where she did a lot of damage. She was drafted in the WNBA, where she played 3 seasons. She coached 2 years at Penn State and joined the Virginia Tech staff in 2024. With no further ado, Sharnee Zoll. What's going on, Coach?
What's up, Rare? How you doing?
All is well, all is well. So I'm in Philly, man. We got a few more days of nice weather. How is the weather in Virginia? Matter of fact, I know you're on the road. How about this? How was the weather in Texas?
Listen, I've been on the road crazy, so it was beautiful in Cali when I was there last week. Texas is blazing hot. It's like 90 some degrees, and then I'm going back to Virginia, and it's going to be about 80 something. So still some nice weather for us too.
Yeah. I mean, it's better than being cold, right?
And listen, every time I'd rather some heat than some cold.
Coach, you reached the level of basketball that many young girls dream of. You played in the WNBA, 29th overall
Mhm.
pick in 2008. You were drafted by the LA
Yep.
Sparks. How was that experience?
Man, it was a dream come true. When I was young, it wasn't until I was like 10, 11 that the WNBA came about. So when I was a young buck, like I had to dream of playing in the NBA first. And then when the WNBA came, that's all I worked for. I sacrificed parties and chilling and family events so that I could live that dream. And when I finally got it, I got to play in Madison Square Garden. I got to play in the Staples Center. I played in places and against some of my idols, right? And then my family got to see me play here at home, so it was a dream come true for me.
Yeah, that's crazy. You were like part of that brick by brick foundation, which, made a
Yep,
way for the game to be where it is today. The game has grown tremendously. Um, who,
yep.
who were some of the great players you played against or like seen at that level back in that day?
Yeah, so like a couple of my best friends, right, like Candance Parker, we grew up playing
Mhm.
against each other in AAU. We got drafted together, right? So she was first. I got drafted third round, so we got to go training camp together. Sylvia Fowles, who just got inducted into the Hall of Fame. Then you think of like some greats like Delisha Milton Jones, D Nasty they called her, who was like on Love and Basketball has been like one of our pioneers. Swing Cash, so just so many players that like I've seen from young, but also players that I grew up playing against have been phenomenal. Like it was like I said, a dream come true.
Yeah, and before you reached that level of playing in the WNBA, you played at Virginia. And like I said in the intro,
Yeah.
you did a whole lot of damage there. You actually played at the same school where the Philly legend, now like women's basketball legend, Dawn Staley played that. You actually broke
Yeah.
her Virginia record and the ACC record in assists. And she held that record
Yeah.
for 16 years. How did you achieve
Yeah.
that amazing feat?
Listen, first off, I want to tell you that like that was crazy. I walked on campus and that was one of my goals, right? Obviously to have extreme team success, but as a point guard, there's no better success than getting like some assists, right, and making players look good. And so I learned that from Dawn. And so what happened was there was a lot of people that made a lot of shots for me. I tried to put them in positions to score, and that was one of my main goals. That's what a point guard's supposed to do. So they knocked down some buckets for me.
A whole lot of buckets to break a assist record.
A whole lot of buckets, yeah.
Speaking of buckets, now you played at Virginia and you're now coaching at the rival school, which is kind of pretty cool for me. That's like crazy. Um,
Yeah.
you went from playing at the highest level, scoring 1,000 points in your college career, to coaching on that same level. How has that been for you?
Right. Yeah, it was really cool for me. It was one of the things that started my coaching career that I wanted to get back to the ACC. I think the ACC is one of the best conferences that you can coach in and play in. It is a guards league, in my opinion, and so to get back not only to the ACC but to Virginia in some capacity was great for me. It's been helping me in terms of understanding the game differently, scouting differently, even recruiting in different ways. And so, I always laugh. Some of my best friends that went to UVA with me still talk trash to me about going to the rival school. But at the end of the day, however I can help mentor the young generation and get our kids some exposure and get them better and get them ready for the next level, that's what I'm gonna do.
Absolutely. Talk to me about the transition. Like I said, you played in the ACC, where that's like the highest level of
Yep.
basketball, and then on the pro level, you actually played in the WNBA. What
Yep.
made you want to start teaching the game?
It's funny. So I wasn't sure that I wanted to, right? And my college coach, she told me like, hey, make sure you take psychology because you're probably gonna be a coach one day. And I thought she was crazy. But being a point guard, you think the game, you gotta talk it, you gotta be the coach on the floor. And so once I started getting to my later years, I played 11 years professionally altogether. And so once I started getting to my later years, I coached with the Philly Bells. An AAU
Mm,
program that is now the Philly Rise. And
Shout out
all
to
of the
Kev
same
Nash and
people
Tony.
that gave yeah, exactly. So all of the same people that had helped me grow and had watched me grow and helped my career, they asked me to come back and they said, "Hey, coach a couple of years." So I coached 2 years with the Bells, and I'm like, man, I fell in love with it. Now it changed how I looked at the game. It changed how I thought about it. But you hear a lot of people complaining about the young generation. Will help do something about it, and that was really my goal at that point was to help this younger generation, to give them what I had. I had phenomenal coaches my whole life that I'm still in connection with that still help me through life lessons. And so I wanted to be that for them. And so I started, like I said, at AAU and then got the blessing to be able to coach in college and continuing on year after year now.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I did my homework on you, but I definitely didn't know you had a connection to the Bells. I would have, gathered
Yeah,
up some questions because those are my guys over there. That's super dope. That's super amazing. They're doing a great job over there.
yeah,
Um,
phenomenal. Yep, yep, yep.
Now, you won 19 games in your first season at VTech, including the win
Yep.
over undefeated 13th ranked Georgia Tech at the time. How was that for you in the
Yep.
program?
Listen, so personally, you usually don't talk about this as coaches, right? But that was my scout, and it was one of the craziest nights, right? We were going into undefeated Georgia Tech. We were there. They were ranked top 15 in the country. We had kids who hadn't really played before. They didn't get a lot of time, a lot of experience, and so Coach Duffy, our head coach, did a great job of like just getting our kids confident, making them feel like they could believe. We started the game with like a technical, and they started up 2-0, and we just fought and fought and fought. It ended up being a double overtime game, and then like it was a coach's dream in terms of like as you prepare, you're scouting, you're watching, like just knowing what the other team is going to do. It was just one of those chess match games that we were able to pull out, and I think for us it was so huge for our program. Like that was our first top 15 win with Coach Duffy.
Wow, that's amazing.
And our kids gained a lot of confidence from that. And then, the season ended how it ended, but for our kids, especially that group that stayed with us, like it helped them to see like, hey, believe in us and we believe in you. And so it was just that trust that was built in that one game that you could see as catapult.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, like you said, the ACC is a tough place to play, so any win is tough, let alone going into a
Mm-hmm.
Georgia Tech building where they're undefeated and ranked top
Sure,
25 in the country and to get a W. That's crazy. That's a crazy feat in itself.
sure.
So,
Yep.
what's your goals for this upcoming season? What should we expect from VTech?
Yeah, I think you'll see a different style of play. I think we were able to recruit and help develop our kids into what Coach Duffy's system will be. So it's going to be a pro style system. You'll see us play faster. We'll have some pressing. We'll have some man to man. We'll be able to play like quick in transition. You'll see a lot of ball screens, but I think even for me, you'll get to see like a confident group, especially our guard group specifically. You'll get to see them like with their handle, with their games. Player development is huge for us, for our head coach and for me specifically. And so what you're gonna see is that our kids gonna look better. They're gonna look confident, and every day we're trying to get 1% better.
Well, Coach, I know you've been on the road traveling. You're actually at the airport now, headed home.
Yeah.
Before I let you go, I like to have the coaches drop a jewel on the young scholars who plan on playing collegiate basketball and plan on going pro one day.
Sure.
What does it take to become a successful collegiate athlete?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a hard question, but it's pretty easy in the sense of like it's gonna take sacrifice. This is a life lesson. You got to sacrifice something good for something great. So if you want to be a collegiate athlete, you're gonna have to sacrifice, the sodas. You're gonna have to sacrifice the parties. You're gonna have to sacrifice some of that to stay in the gym. But if you believe in yourself and you work hard, anything is possible.
Well, Coach, I appreciate you for being on air with Rare and taking some time out of your busy schedule. I hope you guys have a successful season and dare to be rare all season and go VTech.
You already know, Ray. I hope to see you at a game,
Before I
man.
let you, yes, Coach, I was great to say that. Now, if I hit you up for tickets to a home game, do you got me or not?
Listen, as many as you need. I got you.
I appreciate you, Coach. Thanks for taking time out your day. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. I'll talk to you.
Peace.